Okay, we left off page Yud Aleph, page Yud Aleph, page 21, Mishna Berura. Rolding was speaking, the Mechaber had said that when you say the Shem Hashem, firstly you have to have in mind Adnus, because that's pronunciation Adni. And if it's written Yud Kei Vav Kei, one has to also think Ho Yehoviyah. He was, he is, and he's in the future. And Elokim, the kavanah for Elokim, the understanding is Balko Huskulam Takiv, Almighty. Elokim is Almighty. He's Almighty. You know, I always mention these Sifarno in Bereshis. What is Kael? What does it mean, a Kael? Kael means powerful. Mi chamocha be'elim Hashem. The Malachim are referred to as Elim. They're powerful. Each one is created for a specific function. He's powerful for what he was created for. He's effective in that area. We say Malach could only do one shlichus, only one agency. Why? Because he was created for that. A human being is multifaceted, but an angel is created for something specific. Wait. Kael means angel, power. God is also Kael. He's powerful, right? No, but so the Siforno says Elokim is plural of Kael. That's the Siforno in parshas Bereshis. Elokim. He is the Almighty. Whatever exists in might, he's Almighty. There's nothing that's beyond his ability. So a malach is called Kael. Micha mocha be'elim Hashem. Okay. Kriyosa ba'adrus beis in Mishna Berura. Ki Hashem anichvad nor osel krosa kirsovo. Yud Kei Vav Kei, you're not permitted to pronounce, this is where we left off yesterday, as it's written. Yud Kei Vav Kei. Chazal Hoges Shem Bos Yosef Ein Lo Chel Lemabo El Tzorach Lekroso Kilo Hoyakosov Shem Adni. We read Yud Kei Vav Kei, the pronunciation as if it would be spelled Aleph Daled Nun Yud Gam B'Nekudas Adni Hainu HaAlif B'Chatev Patoch Avodo B'Patoch Levad O B'Shvo Levad Hadalid B'Cholam Ado Vanun B'Komatz V'Yadgish HaYud. Here you should emphasize the Yud. Shetei Nikeres Yofer Rak B'Kavoni Yichav Shem Avayo. So the pronunciation is Adni, but only in intent you should think, you should have in mind the spelling, which is Hoyoviyah, V'tamen Degiu Hu Melara. You know, we have Milel Mera, the pronunciation. Where do you put the emphasis on? The closing of the word or the opening of the word? And what is Yud Kei Vav Kei Shehoyo? Shehoyo Hoviviyah. Ubira Gorkosov Delfi Omek Adin Eitzorch Lechavin El Pirush Krioso. Yeah, Vilna Gaon argues with the Mechaber. Even if the name of Hashem is spelled Yud Kei Vav Kei, all you have to think is Adni. One doesn't have to think Hoyoviyah. It's based on the pronunciation. Right? I mean, sometimes you have words which are written in the singular plural. You don't think about the plural or the singular way it's written. It's the way it's read. That's what we call Kri Ksiv. Right? The way it's read and the way it's written. He says, but of course, in the spelling, they're hidden, they're fundamental principles that are contained there. But in terms of kavanah, one doesn't have to have that kavanah. In understanding, the simple understanding of what you're saying. Levad b'kriya Shema. He says, however, Shema, the first pasuk of the Shema, tzorch lechavin gam shehoyoviyah. But even the Vilna Gaon agrees that he says, Shema Yisrael Hashem. Hashem is Adni, and also Hoyoviyah you're supposed to think. That's the Mechaber. The Mechaber also says that. Ein Shom. And there are many other things you're supposed to think besides this. But that's a kavanah. That's not basic. That's an addition to the simple kavanah. There are other kavanahs you think. But if the Shem Hashem is written Aleph Daled Nun Yud, l'kuli alma yitzorch lechavin el shu adon kol. One doesn't have to think more than adon kol. He's the master of all. That's Adni. Im echad misapir chazdei Hashem she'osalo. Yeah, a person wants to speak about he's fortunate, God was good to him, and he's extolling Hashem for all that he did to him. Umitchila maske Hashem v'rotzel loma advor ma'shoslo Hashem osla apsiku b'dvorim. Shem mitoch kach lo yigma dvorov It's interesting. We're very careful. We don't say the Shem Hashem. The person wants to say, he says he won the lottery, and he says he wants to thank, and he uses the word Adni. At the Sfardim are very. You ever hear Rav Vad used to speak, or Sfardi Rabbonim, Rosh Shivas, they say Yud Kei Vav Kei, they say Adni. Israel, modern Hebrew, you have your people. They say the name of Hashem. They say Baruch, and they would say Adni. They don't say Baruch Hashem.
But the Sfardim only do it in the context of it.
No. That's what we do it. We, within the context of verse, even Ashkenazim.
We don't do it.
We do. If you say a full verse, you say a whole pasuk, it's not a problem. Not a problem.
People don't even do that.
Because they don't know the whole verse by heart. That's the reason why.
No, but even you don't do that. When you quote a verse.
No, that's for a different reason. I mean, even the Gemara, when we read the Gemara, right, the whole verse is not cited, right? And very often, it says it says it with a hey. We read it Elokim. We don't say, even though in the print it's printed with the hey. Svardim, they're very, very lenient on this. So he's saying a person's praising Hashem, he uses the Shem Hashem, and before he finishes the praise, someone wants to interrupt him. He says he's doing the wrong thing. Because if he stops there before he actually expresses the praise, so he said the Shem Hashem without what? Without, it has no value. Because the value of mention is only to speak his praises. Most people are lenient regarding the Shem Hashem. They're also concerned because very often there's mirrors. Especially if you have kids at the table, you get interrupted. Let's say in the middle of this mirror, so you're middle and you say Shem Hashem, and somebody interrupts you. There's conversation at the table. So okay, so there maybe you should be mach. But according to what he's saying here, no. You should be careful. You say Zimros, you sing the praises of Hashem. That's what a Zemer is, Zemiros. Right? Psukid is Zimra. Right? Verses of praise. Avalim Rotze Lekale Od Shum Odom. V'hischel b'shem. Person wants to curse a person, and he wants to use the Shem Hashem. Mitzvah lapsiko. There you should interrupt him. You shouldn't let him continue. Shlo yigmar dvar v'yechto. You're not permitted to curse a person with the Shem Hashem. It's in this Doraisa. Okay. It's based on the pasuk. It says la'aleim. No, it's based on psukim. It says Shem Hashem Olam. Shmi zichri l'dor v'dor over there. It's pasuk in Shmos. So when it says, it refers to Yud Kei Vav Hashem la'olam, but la'olam is written choser, deleted. So Rashi over there without the vav. So Rashi says you have to conceal the pronunciation when you pronounce it, not the way it's written. The way it's written, it should not be pronounced, but only Adni. It's written Yud Kei Vav Kei, but in pronunciation, that's concealed. One doesn't express it that way. That's also halachah l'mishim sinai in its pronunciation. That's halachah l'mishim sinai, its pronunciation.
In modern Hebrew, people say ado.
So they're doing the wrong thing. They don't know.
Because it means Lord.
No, it doesn't mean Lord.
Adoni.
Adoni. We're talking about komats.
Adoni.
It's komats.
No, but it's also be called the word.
Only first. It's an argument. We don't say it. Even if you're speaking to a number of people, a plural, we don't say with the komats. We don't say it. Right? We don't.
So how do they express Lord? Not Hashem, but Lord.
Adon.
I think he used the word.
So there's an argument. There's not who's he speaking to over there. Is he speaking to Hashem? Because he's interrupting his conversation with Hashem. So that's one opinion. The other opinion is he's referring to them and speaking in the plural. Because the plural of master is with a komats. It ends with noi. But I'm saying we don't. But since that word always refers to Hashem, we don't use that word. I'll give you an example. If a person calls his father by his first name, it's an Isdoraisa. It's a breach in honoring the father. It's a disrespect. One's not supposed to call his father his name. What about to use your father's first name to refer to another person? Are you permitted or you're not permitted? So the way it's ruled in Shulchan Aruch, in the Rambam, let's say his father has an unusual name. His name is Paltiel. You don't hear that name very often. Some people's name is Paltiel. And he says, Paltiel said. And when he says Paltiel, the first thing that comes to mind, people think he's referring to his father. He's not permitted to say Paltiel. Person says David or Chaim, many Chaims. Just because say Chaim doesn't mean he's referring to his father. But if it's something which is an unusual name, and immediately they associate that name with his father, the son is not permitted to say that name. That's considered disrespect.
So, a woman, can she marry a man who shares the same name as her father?
It's not simple. I mean, that's a review the chosid. That's review the chosid. On a Torah level, I mean, on a halachic level, it's permitted. Review the chosid says you shouldn't do it. It won't bring good things. It's not only man. What about a man marrying a woman with his mother's name? Because he's always referring to his. It's even more than that. Because you may be speaking to your wife in the presence of your mother. So when it's the presence of your mother becomes a problem, because your mother may feel that you're speaking to her. You call your wife's name, and your mother is within the proximity when you speak calling your wife. So your mother, it sounds like you're calling your mother.
No.
It creates a complicated situation.
Now, the Sephardim call the grandchildren after the living grandfather.
And grandmother. Correct,
How
correct.
does that work?
Right. They're not concerned with review the chosid. This is review the chosid. Laloch, it's not a question.
There's a teeny little difference, slightly different.
Yeah.
But two names, one name.
Right. There's some of them.
Hasidim are much more about
Who?
Hasidim in general more.
There's a lot of
more
repetition.
on this than Islam.
Yeah, you listen to this.
Today, because things are so mixed up. At one time, Misnagdim were not makbid in this area. No, you see, Hasidim are always connected to the Kabbalah. If you ever read any, I'm not talking about just a person as a Hasidic Shavart. I'm talking about what we considered, like Sfas Emes. You go through Sfas Emes, Zohar is like, is on the, he has an, continues called Zohar. All Hasidus was based on Kabbalah. All Hasidus. So based on Hasidus, you're concerned about these things. So Review the Chosid was all Kabbalah. It was based on Kabbalistic situations. The positions. But Misnagdim, they weren't involved in Kabbalah at all. So therefore, what's the halacha? The halacha, it's not mentioned in Shulchan Aruch. So there's not a problem. Sfardim, also, certain things yes, certain things not. They're more connected to the Kabbalah than Ashkenazim to a degree. But Hasidim were always more machmir in this area.
What if you had a mother's name, and you have a child, boy,
No, it's a different name. It's a different name. It's a different name. Different name doesn't make a difference. Different name. I'll give you an example. We'll learn Git now. If you write a name in a get, and the get name is not a correct name, the get's not valid. So Moshe has a shaila question. A person, unless a person has nicknames, so you have to add all the nicknames. Let's say his name was Yaakov, and they called him Yankee, and they called him Yak, and they called him Jack and Jackie. Every one of those references have to be written in the get. Sometimes you write Demiskari. If it's Hebrew, it's Demiskari. If it's in another language, it's called Hamuchune. Muchune. That's the way it's written in the get. What? So Rav Moshe has I can't hear you. No. There's a get. No, it's a monetary document. It's a monetary document. A get has to be written. It's not written properly. It's not valid. Not valid. So Rav Moshe has a shaila. Somebody asked him. Let's say a person's name was Joseph. So he wrote Yosef, and he didn't write Hamuchune Joseph. Not Joe, Joseph. So Moshe says that Yosef and Joseph is the exact same name. It's just that the Yud is pronounced differently, but it's the word. He says David and David, same name. So even, of course, it's better to write Hamachune David, or whatever the name may be, but since it's basically the same name, you don't have to. But it's a variation of the name, like Dave. Dave is not David. Then you have to write Hamachune Dave. Right?
Did you have to write the Hebrew name and the section?
Everything, every reference the person referred to has to be put into that get. for the man and the woman.
And you start with the Hebrew name, or?
Yeah, it's with the Hebrew name. Yeah.
So when we say something witnesses, we sent that witnesses.
Yeah, yeah,
Yud Kei Vav Kei.
yeah.
We say the way they pronounce it.
Yeah, that's a problem. That we mentioned. I mentioned it yesterday. It's the wrong thing to do. It's the wrong thing. Wrong
Not
thing.
saying like Yud Kei Vav Kei.
Yeah, that exactly. That's why religious people don't say that name. They say the witnesses, what they refer themselves to. We don't say the first word. For that reason, exactly.
We had a member here, Elliot, but everybody called him L.
Elliot
Yeah, Elliot, learning.
Larner. Okay.
And then people who called him L.
Okay, I never called him L.
Some people did.
Okay, so
Is that a...
sure, everything, whatever it is. We don't like to talk in these contexts about people.
No.
Yeah. But whatever it is, any reference to the person has to be inserted, has to be written into the get. That's the halacha. Okay. So they ask, they interview the person. So let's say, years ago, there was the nicknames. There were nicknames years ago. A guy was called Sonny. Today you don't hear it so much, right? But in the 50s, Sonny wasn't